welcome to my channel. My name's Mariah and you're watching Wealthy Boss. Today I have a recovery stretching routine for you with a little bit of trigger point therapy work with the tennis ball. And I specifically created this to go onto the end of any workout that you do, but specifically something that's going to be a little bit higher intensity, like the cardio bar workout that I recently posted. You definitely want to make sure that you're adding that recovery phase after hard work so that your muscles can begin to grow and repair and heal themselves. It's actually during that rest phase that we come back stronger than ever, that we grow more muscle fibers, and that we make sure that we're properly caring for our bodies. When our muscles are relaxed and are flexible, then we actually get to get more power out of our workout. So we recover better, but it also means that we're maintaining them better so that we can get more out of our next workout. All right, for this stretch routine, you're gonna need a tennis ball and either a yoga strap. Now, if you don't have a yoga strap, you could use something like a belt or a jump rope, or even roll a towel or blanket up, just anything that can allow you to loop it across your foot, but still give you enough space to hold it in your hands. All right, enough talking, let's get stretching. All right, we're gonna get started with our tennis ball. So we're gonna make sure that our muscles and our fascia, our connective tissue, have really had a chance to recover and flush out any type of inflammation or toxins before we lengthen our muscles. It's always a great combo to work in. Now keep in mind, we could spend a whole hour just on trigger point therapy alone, especially if we start to use a foam roller. So if you're interested in that, I can definitely post a separate video. This is meant to be as an add-on to whatever workout you already did. So we'll hit all the important spots and then we can always go from there. All right, so you're gonna take this tennis ball and start to take it underneath your right calf muscle. Now, there's lots of different ways we can do this depending on how tight you are, depending on how tender you're feeling from your workout. If you just did cardio bar, you're probably feeling pretty tender. So just find the spot that works for you. Your hands are gonna come behind you, and then the opposite foot is gonna come so that the knee is bent. And then you're just gonna start to walk that tennis ball, kind of roll it up behind. You want to make sure that you are avoiding coming right underneath the knee. You want to avoid the actual joint area when you're doing any type of foam rolling, which, even though we're using a tennis ball, is a form of foam rolling. Now, if you want a little bit more, it's pretty intense, but you could take the other leg on top of the bottom leg. Now, this is feeling a little bit too intense for me right now, but if I could do the same thing and lift my hips, roll back and forth. It actually works a little bit better if you're on a flat surface, just a hard floor if you're gonna do that. That way you can actually keep your hips on the ground and just slide back and forth. But for many of us, we're gonna want the addition of a little bit of weight into the opposite leg to take some of the weight off, because this is pretty intense. Good. Now you're gonna come to about the middle of the calf, and instead of rolling forward and back, we're gonna go side to side. Just hitting some cross friction, those muscle fibers, releasing the fascia, the connective tissue that sits on top of them. Good. And now let's try the other side. So opposite knee bends. We'll take that tennis ball. We start with it in about the middle of the calf, so we can roll down, and then roll up, again avoiding right in the knee area. Good. Foam rolling, or any type of myofascial release, which is the big fancy word for what foam rolling and trigger point therapy does, is always going to help promote a more quick recovery, so you'll be less sore. It's oxygenating the tissues. Good. Let's come halfway, and then we'll go back and forth, pressing into that cross section of the muscle fibers. You're gonna feel like you just had a massage when you get done with this. Good. Now let's set the hips back down. I'm just gonna shake those legs out. Now we're going to the quads, which can become rather tight, so just keep that in mind. But you get to control the depth of this because we're coming from above, using the pressure of our arms and our hands. So much more controllable here. You're just going to take one hand on top of the other, again avoiding the knee area, and start to work in small little circles. So you're kind of moving up and down. If you find a particularly troublesome knot, like I just found one right there, then just stay there a little bit. So a little bit more pressure, maybe just gentle circles. Make sure you're taking some nice big deep breaths. That's going to help a lot. So try to avoid that temptation when you hit a spot that's uncomfortable to hold your breath and just try to give even more oxygen instead. And we'll take that over to the other side. Again, we could spend all day here, but I'm going to do a few different things to make sure we hit each part of the body. Keep this one fairly brief. If you want a whole video dedicated just to trigger point, we can definitely go there. You know in those comments. Alright, so now we worked into our calves, our quads. We did hamstrings, so you're going to take that tennis ball underneath the hamstring. Just take a few sweeps back and forth. And then let's slide that leg side to side. Maybe press a little bit more weight into that ball. Now we're going to stay on the same side to get into the glute before we move into the other leg. Now this can be pretty intense, I'm just warning you. So you're just going to put it right under the right side of your booty. And again, you can put some weight into your hands so you can control how much weight is going onto that, depending on how tight you are in your piriformis. You could definitely be carrying a little bit of a conversation going on with your glutes right now. So find a spot that works for you. Find the amount of weight and pressure that works for you. Kind of roll back and forth, side to side. Maybe start to pivot towards one direction. Good. It's also releasing your low back. Right? Releasing the glutes. You have tight glutes or tight hamstrings that will pull on your low back and create some back pain. Good. And now we'll just do that on the other side, starting with the hamstring. So about the middle section of the hamstring, we'll roll back and forth. And find that in the middle of the hamstring muscle, roll side to side. You can see my tennis ball just right in the middle. And then I'll take it up to the glute. You always want, anytime you're foam rolling, you always want to stay to the side of the spine, so you want to avoid putting any pressure directly on that tailbone, okay? Especially if you've been doing a lot of bar class, your booty's probably definitely feeling a little tight from that. Excellent. And we'll go ahead and release out of that. Okay, it's going to be a little bit more of a focus on lower body since I do a lot of bar, which is heavier on focus on bar. So from here, we're going to come onto all fours. Keep that strap nearby, or whatever you're using for your strap. And then from here, you're going to take the hands nice and wide. So we're stacking shoulders and wrists. We're stacking knees and hips. And on an inhale, we're going to drop the belly as we lift the tailbone, lift the gaze, and then exhale, round it up. This is just releasing tension in the back, creating mobility through flexion and extension, and ultimately through the spine. Your inhales will drop your belly, lift your gaze. Your exhale will lift the middle section of your back as you take your gaze between your thighs. Good. Coming to neutral now, let's take right shoulder to right hip. So you're just moving side to side. You'll take it over to the other side. So you're moving in an S curve, just like a snake. So let her on the ground, working out some length in the sides of the body. Bar is famous for working the muscles on the side, the obliques. So that's really important that we lengthen them out as well. Good. And then from here, I'm going to show you one thing that may or may not be appropriate for you, so I want you to listen. If you have the type of knee issues, I'm just going to have you do a few more rounds of cat-cow and come back to all fours in just a moment. So if this doesn't feel nice to your knees, no need to do it, but if it does feel nice, you're going to take your knees really wide, so I'm taking them pretty wide apart, and then you're going to start to send your hips towards your heels, keeping that distance between your knees, and then you're going to walk the fingertips back. Now maybe this is perfect, and you're already feeling quite a bit of length in front of the thighs and quadriceps. If you want it a little bit more and your knees say it's okay, that's the only caveat, you could take your elbows down onto the ground. You want to keep your knees on the ground if you do that. Maybe, depending on how it feels to your neck, if it feels okay. Perhaps letting that head hang heavy. I don't know if you can still hear me in the microphone if I do that, so sorry if you lose me. And then only a very few people will want to go all the way. if that's okay on your knees. You're getting a lot of leg here and hip flexors and quadriceps. Again, only take this if your knees tell you it's okay. There's absolutely no reason to go there if you don't need more, if you're already getting plenty of a stretch before that. Nice deep breaths, oxygenating those tissues. And then to come out of it, you'll gently prop yourself up on one arm and then the other, and you'll lift yourself back. Now, if you're just joining us, if you chose not to do that exercise, that's totally fine. We're gonna come back to all fours, and I'm gonna have you take that strap nearby, keep it handy just in case, and go ahead and take it into a little bit of a loop if you'd like, or you can get there when we find our back bend and tie first and see if you need it. From here, we're gonna take a back bend, but it's also gonna be a quadricep stretch, so that right leg is up to the sky. And then from here, you're gonna reach that left hand around and just see if it touches. If it touches and that feels okay on your knee, you're gonna take first a little bit of a back bend by taking the heel further away from the glute and then maybe even lifting to the gaze. By lifting the gaze and reaching back that arm, you're also getting a really nice stretch in that left shoulder. And then if you want a little bit more from the quads, you start to bring that heel in. Now, if none of this is accessible for you and reaching your hand to your foot just isn't working, then that's the time you can loop that strap around the foot. And then you can basically extend that arm, make that arm a little longer, so to speak, by having that loop. So you can either lift it up to the sky for a back bend, or you could pull it in for a little bit more quadricep stretch, which is probably what you might need a little bit more of after doing cardio bar. And then release. And we'll take that over to the other side. If you're utilizing the strap, then you can move that over the opposite foot. I'm going to choose not to. So we lift, we reach. We'll start with that back bend first, maybe lifting into the gaze of the neck. And if you want a little bit more of the quadriceps, start to bend that elbow so the heel comes into the hip. And then let's release out of that. Now let's take a nice child's pose because we're just so close to that child's pose position and always feels nice. It's just too convenient not to. So let's set the forehead down onto the mat, reach the fingertips forward. Notice if you've developed any tension in those shoulders from your workout. Whether or not you're directly working your shoulders, many of us tend to carry a lot of our tension there, so the exercise maybe starts to feel a little bit tough. You might have noticed your shoulders hunching, even if the shoulders weren't, the body part didn't hurt. Some nice deep breaths into it. Then we walk the hands over to the right side of the mat. I love this one for lengthening the body, particularly after all the oblique work we do, this lateral core work that we do in the back. We'll do this stretch along. Let's take it over to the other side. And how often throughout the rest of our day do the muscles on the side of our body get stretched? Not very often. It's really important that we keep the muscles long so that we prevent any type of asymmetry or imbalance in the body. You want to have balance, symmetrical bodies. You're bringing it in the chest a little bit by lifting the palms away from the ground, the fingertips into the ground, and then pressing those fingers into the ground. And from there, you're going to sit up. Take that strap with you again. It can be already tied in a loop, but I would actually recommend probably just taking it out of that loop if you are using a yoga strap. If you're using something like a belt or a loop, a belt or a towel, and you don't have that loop to worry about anyway. You're going to come onto your back. Knees are going to be bent, soles of the feet on the ground, and that foot is going to come and press into that strap. Now, I would like you to keep your elbows on the ground ideally, just to help keep that posture nice and aligned. The foot is going to flex, so the toes are reaching behind you. And then you just take as much tension as you need as feels comfortable. Now, if this is feeling okay, you want a little bit more for the low back and the hips, you can send the opposite leg long. That's not going to feel nice to everyone. You're really tighten your hamstrings and low back. That can feel a little bit troublesome to your back. But if it feels good, go ahead and go for it. Nice deep breaths here. You're going to move both sides of that strap into the right hand and then just open that foot out to the side. You want to keep the left hip heavy though. There's a temptation for that left hip to kind of roll in order to facilitate that. You want to keep the left hip down on the ground. Breathing into it. And then we gently take the strap across the body. So you're going to send your right hip down away from you. Most of us are pretty tight here in our IT bands. So that can feel a little intense. You don't have to worry about how far you take that leg over. The straighter you have your leg, the more intense it's going to be. Whether or not that's a good thing is up to you. And then let's take it back towards the center. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So we'll free the foot from that loop. We'll set that down on the ground. Opposite foot into a loop. Now, so we can bend into that knee if we feel like we need to. Elbows come all the way down onto the ground, so get enough of a grip here and just let the hands slide down until the elbows are on the ground. If you want a little bit more for the hips and the low back, you are going to feel a little bit more in the hamstring too by the way you do this. Think about sending that left hip down towards the ground and notice what happens to the feeling in the hamstring. I just felt that engage a little bit more. Or lengthen a little bit more. And now let's take both sides of that strap over to the left. Again, keeping the right hip, it wants to roll off and do this. See if you can take your hand and actually physically press it back down to remind you to keep this hips open. You can also take your hand out to the side, which can help weight you down on that side. We're trying to open in the hips, so if we rotate this way, we lose that opening. Let's move it over to the other side. So we switch hands. Ooh, a little bit tighter on this side. It's pretty common to be tighter on this side than on the going the other direction. Let's get back towards the center. Good. Now draw that knee back in. Your foot will be on the ground. We're going to take the left heel and place it over the mid-thigh. Now this may be plenty right here. If you'd like a little bit more, we're going to stretch into piriformis, which needs a lot of work during barre class. Interlace the hands behind the hamstring. Or if you wanted more, you could take it across the front of the shin. The one thing I ask here is that you keep your tailbone down. There's a temptation to want to let it ride up, but we're going to use the strength of our mid-back muscles, almost as though we had a marble underneath the tailbone, to keep it back down. That's going to give us more length in our spine and create a little bit of decompression in the spinal column, which is a very good thing. It's a great antidote for low back pain as well. Should feel good. And release out of that. This foot comes down to the ground. One that's lifted, we'll switch sides. So either interlace the hands behind the hamstring or in front of the shin. Again, to send that tailbone away if it just lifted off the ground. Let's take the knees, if you're on a mat, take them about as wide as the mat. And then hands come out like cactus arms, and take the arms, just the elbows straight out. And you'll just gently rock the knees from right to left, keeping the feet planted, releasing the low back. One more, and let's come back to center. Soles and feet up and together, taking the knees out like butterfly wings. Maybe taking the arms overhead, grabbing the opposite elbows, relaxing shoulders. And take a couple more nice deep breaths here. Honoring your body for the hard work it did, recognizing that the recovery phase, the stretching, the trigger point therapy, just the rest, the sleep that you get after the workout is a vital component of that transformation. Your body actually does not really get stronger until you've had that rest. Good. everything into your chest now. Let's rock up to a seated position. And that's our time together. Again, I definitely recommend this as a follow-up to any of the workouts that you might find on my channel, particularly the cardio bar workout. If you haven't tried that, definitely a good one to check out. You definitely want to make sure you're spending some quality recovery time, particularly at the end of the workout. The more intense the workout, the more intense your recovery needs to be. So thank you so much for joining. I can't wait to catch you next time. Don't forget to subscribe if you want a weekly reminder via email about the latest workout release. Then check out the link below. I will link to that here in the description so that I can give you a buzz as soon as the video is released. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing it to anyone who might need it, and I'll see you next time.